This is what I said to you, that the picture is not doom and gloom. If you look from 2002, the red line represents hunger or vulnerability to hunger of individuals. The blue one represents the vulnerability to hunger of households. And of course, there is what Stats SA has introduced now in the measurement, which is the complex access to food at a household level. Because kids, it's a very, very interesting one. Kids at a household level, the household might be food secured, but the infants don't consume what the adult consumes. So there's dynamics within the household itself that individuals who are household members are faced with as far as access to food. So Stats SA has started from 2010 to measure that dynamic, because if you don't measure it, the issue of nutrition security, which Dr. Tavagaraj talked about, which is a key issue from your first 1,000 days of life, become a key issue, because at the end of the day, it's irreversible damage, and the nutritionists will tell you that if there is inadequate access to nutrition at that stage of life, that individual's capacity to become or to participate in the economy or become an economic individual is already impaired for the rest of their lives. So therefore, it was important for statistics to start measuring this issue in relation to the complex access to food between individuals within a household. And we have data starting from 2010 until now in 2014. Today, there's a release of the General Household Survey. And of course, we were invited as DAFF to go and listen to what Status A is unearthing as far as is concerned. So this data come from there. But I want to share with you that you look into the trend, we have been doing very well as a country in the reduction of hunger, both individuals and household level, up to the point where we were at 2011. And of course, 2008, 2009, individuals who track the economy will tell you what happened during that time. It was the time where food prices globally, they increased because of the major production regions of grains in the whole world that suffocated because of the drought that was happening somewhere else. And of course, that international price volatility affected South Africa in a sense that individuals now were unable to have access to food. And I think it became an understandable bump in as far as the increase is concerned. What is not understandable is a stagnant move from 2011 to 2014 where we are at the moment. And that tells you that things have now reached a plateau to those ones who do economics. So at the end of the day, we remain as a country that is not reducing or increasing, well with the marginal increase in relation to the inadequate access to food. And of course, if you look into this, there is about 14.1 million South Africans that are struggling to have access to food in a more adequate way. And we have done an analysis, and of course, the Maslow hierarchy of needs also confessed this, that the poor spend over 60% of their income on food. And what is an income range of the poorest of the poor? Now you look at from the LSM, which is your living standard measure, and your income levels and your wealth groups. And Stats SA has already recorded that almost about 40% of South African households, they are earning less than 649 Rand a month. Now, I'm going to share with you what the drought has done to the basic price, the basic food basket price. And then we'll have to do an arithmetic within ourselves whether can 649 sustain a household? Can it sustain an adequate access to food at a household when food is being purchased? There is also an analysis, a food security baseline that we're developing, which is telling us, the data is telling us that most of the individuals in your former homelands and rural areas are now buying their food. Now, it tells you that you have your dominance of your supermarkets and your neoliberal thinking as far as market dominance is concerned. And at the other hand, the income of households is not increasing. The economy at large is suffocating. I mean, we're growing less than 0.5% now. I mean, it's really, where is the new growth going to come from? So we need new engines for growth in as far as the economy is concerned in the current order of things. If we are going to continue with the current status quo, the economy of South Africa needs to grow at a rapid rate for individuals and the economy, and it needs to transform as well, because if it grows and it not transform, it will remain, this figure will remain the same. So in the stagnation of this figure, there is an issue of non-growth of the economy. There is an issue of the untransformative nature of our domestic economy. There is an issue of individuals who are poor, who are trapped within the cycle of poverty. Therefore, the numbers of food insecurity will remain the same over time. And this figure won't change unless something, some policy position somewhere changes to address the problem or the cause of the problem. And this is where we are at the moment.